Right now on Denver 7 News at 6. Today, we could finally see what Denver police saw, prompting them to shoot into a Lodo crowd, injuring bystanders. But it won't speed up the investigation.
These proceedings are often also very slow, and I think incredibly frustrating to the community.
It's the first day of school for the second largest district in the state, but will Jeffco kids be able to get to class?
Currently, we are consolidating routes. We've taken drastic hits.
It's a story all too familiar, why there's no clear solution down the road.
And name, image, and likeness has given a 300-pound CU Buffs lineman a new look ahead of football season.
They were like, all right, be as light and fluttery as you can.
Light and fluttery, but oh my gosh.
What a pose
You
there.
gotta love the confidence,
I
but
love
I'm
it.
sure he's hearing about it in the locker room. Good morning to you. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Yeah, I just hope Danny New doesn't pose for us as well.
Oh,
We're
man.
going to see that story coming up here.
Yes.
But wow, what a wild afternoon yesterday.
I was caught out right in the middle of this. Another active night for storms and flash flooding across the metro.
Yeah, look at what it looked like on my drive to school yesterday. Flooded streets, about a half-hour-long wait in the car for school pickup. You were braver than me. You actually made a run for it.
I ran to the door to get my kid out of class and then had to splash through these big puddles on the way back to the car. Also, folks in southeast Denver couldn't get through parts of Rosamond Park because of flooding on the walkways there. And it wasn't just the walkways.
No, people got stuck in the rain on the roads. Quincy Avenue at Parker Road in Aurora was closed for over an hour after flooding and multiple accidents made the road undrivable. One driver trying to hitch a ride from his stepdad couldn't because he was stuck too.
I called my mom and I was like, can my stepdad come for me? And she was like, nah, he's stuck as well. So I was like, oh wow, what a day. Crazy, super crazy.
Yeah, it was wild for about an hour there, but things are much drier this morning so far, at least. A live look over downtown Denver. Still some clouds out there and still some wet roads, certainly. And we actually have some street closures due to yesterday's storms. So we do have more rain on the way. The traffic out there still fighting the splashback.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it gets a little goopy at times there on your windshield, and we've had some problems with crashes here this morning already, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's rain related.
There was like no visibility at some point yesterday. I mean, it was
I think I'm
bad.
going to put a bullhorn in my car. I was near the Quincy and Parker cell, and I want to yell out, don't drive through that.
Right.
Yeah. Today we could, again, see a little more flash flooding in spots.
MTM. Is there a button to press?
Button push down.
MTM.
Highs only in the mid to upper 70s.
And I think we couldn't hear you very well. That was the thing. So, we're going to get more of the forecast from Lisa here in just a second. I want to start with this big rollover crash we have across 270. So don't use 270 right now on that westbound side. The rollover crash is right in here, right before you get to Vasquez. So take a look at the double cameras I have set up for you. And you can see here's the rollover crash. We're still blocking up that left lane on the westbound side. So traffic is getting way over on the right shoulder to get around it. So very few cars are getting through. And this is the resulting traffic jam that goes all the way back to I-70. So huge traffic jams here for us this morning. If we can go to the map, we can look at some of the backups for us here this morning. Look at the huge delay, unfortunately. So I would say use I-70 to get over to I-25 and then head north, and that's going to save yourself a whole bunch of time. So that's the way to get around it for us here this morning, and not seeing any other big issues around town just yet.
Well, today we could finally see a controversial police shooting through the officer's eyes. Body camera video of this Lodo shooting where police shot into a crowd is expected to be released here in just a few hours. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live from where that shooting happened right as the bars were letting out. And Christian, police say they shot at a man who flashed a gun at them first.
Yeah, and since that shooting happened here a month ago at 20th and Larimer, community members have been pushing police for answers as to why they shot into that crowd of people when they were going after the suspect, Jordan Waddy. 6 innocent bystanders suffered various injuries, including a man who had a bullet lodged in his arm. Up until now, we've only seen a still frame photo of what police say is Waddy flashing a gun at them, while there is no evidence that he ever fired that gun. We've also seen a picture of a 10mm handgun police say they found at the scene. Under state law, audio and footage of an incident has to be released within 21 days of a request when there's a misconduct complaint, and today is that deadline. This case is also in the hands of the Citizen Oversight Board, and they'll review whether Denver officers responded appropriately. They'll look at failures in training, protocol, and cultural issues. Last week, board members told Denver 7 that they're closely tracking this incident, but the speed of these investigations is slow, which can be frustrating.
I think that's the most unfortunate condition of police accountabilities that can often be very slow, in particular because now there's a criminal investigation because people were shot. That makes it even slower, right? We've got outside parties in the DA's office and the Colorado State Patrol conducting an external investigation. And while I'm sure they are eager to get to the outcomes as quickly as possible,
the board is reviewing the case, but they told us in a way their hands are tied until that investigation into whether police acted lawfully is complete. Live in Denver this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Thank you, Christian. Students and families will see increased security at a Greeley High School today after a student stabbed another classmate. This happened at Jefferson High School as kids were headed to lunch yesterday right in the hallway with a crowd of other students watching.
I'm not really shocked because of all the violence we've had and because of what I've been hearing in schools and because of what we've been seeing there. But I am saddened that, that our schools are not protected. Our students, the ones that really want to study, are not protected.
Yeah, this hurts a lot of students. Denver 7 contacted Greeley Police late Monday for more details on where the school resource officer was at the time of the incident, but we have not heard back yet.
New this morning, just as they suspected, Colorado groups are helping people from out of state get abortions now that Roe v. Wade has been overturned. Cobalt, a Colorado reproductive rights group, tells the Denver Post it helped fund procedures for 140 people since the decision came down in June. It also helped 315 people with travel and associated costs. That's 10 times the number of people assisted in all of last year. 66% of the clients came from Texas. 6% were here in Colorado and 5% came from Alabama. Medical abortions are about to be more accessible in Colorado. The telemedicine startup Wisp started offering the service this month, and Denver patients will have access starting in September. The Denver Business Journal reports Wisp has offered birth control online since its founding in 2018, and that it saw a 3,000% increase in sales of emergency contraceptives after the Roe v. Wade decision. And Scotland is now the first country in the world to have free menstrual products in public places. This is a first of its kind law for any country. As you know, menstrual products and diapers are now tax-free here in Colorado after the governor signed a law earlier this year.
Well, you may have seen at the top of our newscast, a new offensive lineman at CU, 300-pounder, has
Big
had
guy.
some fun on social media with a new NIL deal. That's the name, image, and likeness rule that allows college athletes to be paid to be a spokesperson for a company.
Yeah, that job, the gig, though, came with another job requirement that Danny is here to tell us about. This is awesome. I love the pictures, love the confidence. Yeah.
All right, well, so picture this, everybody. He is 6'7", 315 pounds, and he transferred from Alabama. Top of the line, so he's big time.
Big football school.
He's really good, but he's also now a big time underwear model. Check him out, baby. Beautiful cascading mullet, the thick bushy mustache and beard, and he's got the blue steel smolder down. Just wait for it. I was hanging out with Tommy Brown at the indoor practice facility in Boulder this past Friday. He told me, so pretty much the clothing company Shinesty, they DM'd him on social media, and they were like, hey, we're expanding our underwear sizes. Would you like to be our model?
Wow, he was recruited. Nice.
Recruited, that's right. And as you can tell, he had a lot of fun with it, even though he said that some parts were a little different than playing football.
They were like, all right, be as light and fluttery as you can. I was like,
what does that mean?
I
What do you
haven't
think that
been
means?
under 300 pounds since 8th grade, so light isn't really.
I'm agile.
yeah.
Not light.
So she was. And she had done ballerina, so she had been a ballerina, and she was trying to give me coaching points, and I was just like, I've tried my best, and
My feet don't bend like
Yeah.
this. I don't do this.
yeah. So there was a lot of running back and forth and jumping.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine telling a 6'7" lineman to be lighter?
Light and fluttery.
Yeah.
He pulled it off though.
Yeah, he was beautifully just legs
Very
back.
graceful, I
Very
think.
graceful.
Yeah.
Now, I know you were saying, Nicole, before. Danny, did you do any modeling? No, I didn't. Okay. I was too afraid to ask our news director, yeah. But since I didn't want to do that, I thought it'd be fun if we played football instead.
Oh, boy.
So coming up, I'm going to go head-to-head in the trenches with a 6'7" offensive lineman.
Oh my God.
It takes a big guy to make you look small.
I know.
That
I'm
enough, but
6'2",
it'll
and
be
I look
interesting,
so
yeah.
tiny next to him. Yeah.
All
So
right.
we'll see.
Can't wait to see
All
that.
right.
Thank you, Danny. Let's get to Lisa for a look at our forecast. More rain on the way.
In honor, take a look. Here's a view of CU move-in day. Started yesterday, and you're going to see kids staggered throughout the week moving in. We're going to be at about 70 degrees there by 10 o'clock. In Boulder, you'll find some cloud cover this morning, even a little drizzle, and then another chance for some scattered storms and showers here this afternoon. Mid to upper 70s by about 3 o'clock. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll take a closer look at our rest of the week forecast. It is going to get a lot warmer and drier.
And you see kids moving up at CSU. You got new kids going over here to school at in Jeffco and Cherry Creek, all over town. You do have some wet roads still to deal with all around Metro Denver. And you see this big traffic jam. Don't get stuck on 270 right now. It is a mess with a rollover crash on the westbound side near Vasquez. Heavy in both directions. We'll take a look at the travel times and ways to get around it in just a minute.
How early is too early to be thinking about Halloween? How about early August? One store is already gearing up and could give you a job too.
You know, it's also too early to be thinking about elections, but today could be a big victory for former President Trump. Our team in Washington is taking a closer look at Liz Cheney's seat and why Coloradans have clearly been very interested in this race.